All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert Global Labs patch notes reading. If you don't know, Global Labs is basically the test server of this game. A lot of people don't actually read these patch notes, and I kind of skimmed through everything before making this video, and I wanted to talk about it. So maybe you should start preparing for certain things coming out in the future, and it's always good to just look at these every now and then. So I think there's actually a few quality of life things that are coming out that I think are very interesting and we'll talk about. But things that came out as of today. Lahn and Drakania and Sorc classes got, I think, some changes, not like balance number changes, but like quality of life and just like overall gameplay changes. So admittedly, I don't have enough information. I don't know the classes well enough to be able to tell you, but assuming these are all positive changes and just the playstyle got a little bit easier in my opinion. So yeah, let's get into the content. And the first thing we have is bartering. As you guys know, the life skill bartering, it used to be good back in the day, and I still think it's a decent thing to do if you're more or less semi AFK and you just, like, let's say you're working from home, right, and you just go auto path from point A to B. Bartering. So they're getting your carrick easier. They're reducing the price of like barter materials and, you know, like other materials to upgrade your boat and everything. So first things first, they're changing the barter time from 4 hours to 2 hours. And you guys remember back in the day, if you're going for your carrick, you would basically have to be in the ocean all day, every day for about like a month or two. And then, well, even more actually, at least when I got it. So being able to refresh your barters every day and getting the like brilliant stuff is a lot easier now than it used to be. So that's a good thing. And it's been a while because bartering, while it may be fine, every year that passes without any changes to it, it falls off because grind spots are more silver an hour. Everything just goes up in value for your hour, and bartering has always been the same. So I think that this change is overall good. The scroll, I think I didn't really know there's a cooldown to it. Admittedly, I haven't used it, but I do know there is a scroll that you could recover the parley and just barter more, which is cool. Don't really know anyone who actually used it unless you were going for a specific number of barters in general to get like a title or more trade routes unlocked. So that's cool. The trade material list or exchange has been adjusted. One-time renewal, 40, 50. So yeah, like every time in game, let me actually just show you in game what it looks like. 1 second. So here's how trade works. When you barter, you could go from like, basically you go from tier 1 materials white all the way to orange, and then the orange ones are the ones you sell to the market, or not market, but just like sell to a vendor, and that's how you get a lot of silver. It's outdated now because you just don't get a lot, and you're better off grinding silver at like wherever you are and doing 1 hour somewhere else. They're increasing the amount of brilliance you can get, which are for carrick upgrades, and they're reducing the amount of entry-level materials to get into bartering materials. So I think that's always good. And the parley, every time you refresh, it costs like 20 to 40, and then I think as of right now, you should be doing like 2 of each if you were in the ocean all day, and they're just gonna reduce the amount of time that it takes to be in the ocean. So that's always good. So all of these items right here are things that I believe you go for your carrick, and yeah, they're just like increasing the number of exchanges you can do from 1 to 2, which is literally reducing the amount of time it takes to get a carrick in half, which is always good. And yeah, I have videos of me getting my carrick, how to get the materials, things you should do to get into ocean content, which I think I made that video like 3 years ago, and like ocean content hasn't even really been updated, so like it's literally still a relevant guide 3 years later. So more exchanges for these are very good. Your bottleneck, in my opinion, is probably going to be those like red pirate like icons or whatever those materials are, the red ones that you get from the pirates on the island, but they're not that bad nowadays. They reduced the amount of crow coins for the various things. So if you were to look at all of these, in my opinions, the only ones worth getting are probably the brilliance, and even then, they're making it easier to get in general. But if you're looking for silver profit, you could get the Monos earrings and just sell those, in my opinion, and then like the Cron stones and memfrags and whatever. So that's good. They're actually like nuking the prices for all of these pretty significantly. So yeah, these are very worth getting nowadays, and you could probably get, in my opinion, you get maybe like 5,000-ish coins a day, even maybe more depending on what you're doing. So the fact that it might not even take an entire month anymore to get your Carrack is a huge thing. So yeah, that's awesome. So they're changing, or a new weekly quest that has been accepted from the Achilles Eye. You get the relics and then sailing experience. Whenever this comes out, I guess we'll do it, because I have videos of me doing sailing dailies, and that is literally the least fun thing to watch, but I did it just so people can learn how to do the ocean routes, which has gotten changed over the years, or actually like the past like 6 months, I believe. So it's a lot easier, but it's still the same concept. And then the daily quests of, you know, killing the Hekaru, the Ocean Stalker, and then going out into Margoria and fighting the other enemies. I think it's now just one quest instead of 3, and then you get the same reward. So a lot easier. Should update that in the future. And what is all this? Oh yeah, so back in the day you had to kill 3 of these sea monsters, and then now you only have to kill 1 for the quest. Very cool. The hardest part, or not the hardest part, is like the ones, this one right here is like out in the middle of nowhere, and then you just kind of have to go sailing for a good 5 minutes just to get to this one. But now you only have to kill 1 of them, so not bad. These are the rewards to upgrade your boat, and or the parts to get like the boat gear. So that's always good. They're changing the required or the rewards for this one. The deep sea ones is the one you used to be able to do daily. You get 1 every day, and you have to do it for like 30 days, and now it's like literally half the time. So I think nowadays, if you were to take bartering and ocean content seriously, you can probably do it, or like once this patch comes out, it's probably like 2 to 3 weeks instead of a month and a half nowadays. So that's good. I hope everyone tries sailing and bartering at least once in their video career. It's pretty fun and chill. It's just, I don't think it makes for good like videos and streams though. They're changing the amount of bartering materials for like land bartering, and they're just reducing the amount, which is good, I guess. I don't think anyone really had a problem, but there were certain things that were more annoying than the others, but most people just skip that, but reducing it now, awesome. There's actually one other thing outside of this bartering and sailing that I wanted to talk about, but we'll get to that in a second. Improved cooking and pension failure. So basically, if you put in the wrong amount of materials, it'd fail. It's just not consumed anymore, which cool. That should have just been the thing in the game since day 1, but apparently it took them 8 years to do. But yeah. Shortened the wild horse capture minigame from 11 to 6 seconds. This is something I've actually like always wanted. I don't do horse training a lot, but it was just kind of annoying that I have to like click the space bar for 11 seconds. But like, I never really thought of it as a big enough issue to complain about it. But I'm glad that they're just reducing it. It should be like 5 seconds though, but whatever. 11 to 6 is just a nice change. Oh, this is the big one that I wanted to talk about. We've been waiting for this for quite a while. Blackstone item simplification, so like weapon stones and then armor stones are just going to be unified into one thing, which I think is a huge change. But this is one of those things, I think for the first like month of the game is going to be mega sold out because everyone's going for like their Drakania pen accessory, and everyone needs like 15,000 of those, or like over 20,000 total, times all the players in the game who are trying to get it. So yeah, I think once they unify Blackstones, it's going to be like basically sold out for the first month, and then eventually they'll probably have some events and like everyone's going to get more Blackstones, and then it'll eventually calm the market. But yeah, this is overall a good thing. As you guys know, in basically any MMO, not just Black Desert in particular, eventually you have too many items in the game, which makes it more confusing to new players. Like, we have about like 1,000 different crafting materials in this game, and just simplifying it all. So I think that's just overall a good thing. So it might like nuke the market for a little bit, but then I think over time it should like equalize and everything should be fine in theory. So yeah, so like these are all the things like weapon stones, armor stones, hard sharps, just going to be unified, which I think is overall a good thing. They're gonna have to do a lot because they're probably gonna have to change all the quests, and you know, like the hunter seals that you turn in for everything, they're probably gonna have to like change that entirely. So that's probably why it took so long, because they have to like remember everything that was in the game and then change it. So armor 6 to 7 is 100% now. The way it used to work is, well, you know how when you enhance a weapon, right? 0 to 7 is 100%, but armors used to be 0 to 5 is 100. So they're just like kind of unifying it to make it up to from 0 to 7 to 100%. Very cool change. I don't think anyone ever had an issue with it, but I'm glad they're making it on the same level of as each other. Due to an integrated exchange inspection on the official server as of today is March 22nd, like real time, the waiting purchase has been canceled. Oh, this is on the live official server? I'm gonna have to check that out later, but interesting. All right, so item crafting method change. Brilliant boss gear. Oh, so like this is like boss armor, the yellow tier, not fallen god and stuff. You can concentrated magical blackstones and green crystal to make a upgrade. So I think this is the Drakania thing, where this is a new thing entirely. 1 blackstone weapon plus 1 blackstone armor equals 2 weapons. 10 weapons, 10 armors. This one doesn't really make sense, but okay. Oh, wait. This is just... If they're unifying, I don't think this one really matters. Maybe I'm just not reading it properly. These are more fail stacks to make secret book up to 40. If they're increasing that, that's good. Keep in mind, this is Global Lab translated from Google Translate, so if it doesn't make sense, I'm trying to figure it out just as well as you are. Glass filled with lonely clouds. Are these Tabex belt? Are these something you can... Oh, so... Yeah, these are just changes to craft a thing and reduced it. Okay. Items below are crafted using magical imbued parchments. So as far as I understand, you know the things where you can extract your fail stack, and you can buy those from like the blacksmith right now. So you can make up to a 200 stack and then extract your fail stack. It's not like making a fail stack, as far as I understand. And then that's good because we have a bunch of stacks that I just don't want to put on other characters, but we have a lot of 200 stacks, as you guys have been seeing from all my videos and enhancing. Good stuff. So we talked about this last time. We're getting Dehkia Sulfur and Dehkia Pilaku in a week or two from now, and they're just changing the mechanics. Admittedly, I don't go into global labs to test this, so apparently they're just updating the grind spot for all of you who are actually on the labs testing it, so that's cool. We more or less briefly talked about this last time. I'm excited because I get to go for the archaeologist map and Devos in the future, so that's awesome. Black Shrine, the Bamboo Legion boss, has been changed for like health reasons. So like I think one of the commander bosses doesn't reset health or something. Improved to be more natural Gyfin underground. Dude, I don't know what's going on with Gyfin. This spot has been tweaked like 7 times in the past 3 or 4 years, and like right now it's in a good state. I think things are just becoming more natural. I don't have no idea what that means. I've never really had an issue, but apparently we're getting another tweak. It's not like a balance change or anything. It's just like movement, or probably. More quest knowledge things that we talked about last time. And apparently Doom horses. No flames are created on the ground when you slam an instant excel with Doom Horse. If I understand this correctly, when a Doom Horse hits an enemy using Kite, it would drop a flame on the ground, but now it no longer does that. Admittedly, I don't really use my Doom Horse a lot, but I kind of like that it had like the flames and stuff, because just, you know, a unique feature of it. But you guys remember back in the day, people would like, if you did node wars in PvP, people would just like ram forts with the Doom Horse, and then like it would just lag everyone's game when like 40 people are doing it at the same time. And that could be one of the reasons why there are no more flames, because it just like tanks everyone's FPS. I don't know, but yeah. So UI quality of life changes are something that's going to be changed. Is scheduled to end in a month. The old menu, you know how like in the game there's like a new menu and the old menu. I'd like to think that most people are just using the new one nowadays, just because it's a lot cleaner actually. But like some of the OGs that I've seen still use the old menu. I personally find that one a little bit clunkier. I actually like the new menu. So they're discontinuing that one as of next month, which I guess everyone's gonna have to get used to the new one, which honestly, for me, like going into the new one back a few years ago, it's really easy to transition into. I understand that people don't like change, and you know how they made the change with the inventory sorting, and then you know how like the storage is on one side, your inventory, and then it like changed every location of it. That one kind of caused a lot of confusion. But when it comes to the new and old menu, I think this is going to be like the cleanest transition you'll ever see. It's very easy to learn and get used to, so you'll be fine. This is one thing that actually worries me a little bit. So when the number of items in your warehouse is more than 100,000, the display will be like simplified in a way. So like if you own 123,000, it'll be, and like with some random numbers at the end of it, it'll be just a flat number. I think this is actually bad, because in this game, selling things individually, like a certain specific amount, is very important. So I think they should still show the full amount, because this is not a good change. You should see the exact amount of items that you have, because that's very important to calculate for various things. So yeah, I don't like this change, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But as far as I see right now, it's not a good thing because, yeah, like you should be able to see the exact amount that you have and not like I'm guessing how many I have. The search function in the UI has been changed. You can search things by category. They've been kind of tweaking the category, you know, to your Control F thingy in game. So it's been a lot easier. I think that's a good thing. And a lot of bug fixes and, you know, like costume issues and things that just make your character look different. But anyway, that's about it for the 22nd today. The Global Labs have been just pumping out stuff. And overall, I think this is a good quality of life patch. Unified Blackstones is definitely a huge thing. New grind spots coming soon. Ocean content is finally getting quality of life updates. And so with that said, I think I might be going back into the ocean to try everything out in the near future. So with that said, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. I have been playing this game for about 8 years, and I like to share my knowledge of this game, whether you're a beginner, a returning player, or just someone who is looking to get better at this game. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Peace.